Bonjour! In this video, I'm going to show you how to navigate this course. Now, every time you click into the course, you'll come into the home page, which is the announcements page. Please read any announcement that you see here, and if there's a video, you'll want to watch that as well. After that, we'll click into content. In this navigation bar, you'll see that you can also click directly into assignments. Please do not do that in this course. You will be much more successful if you only click into content, because that's where everything lives, including the lecture material. So I'm going to click onto here. And over to the left, I'll see my weeks. This is an 8-week course, and every week will show as it arrives. So that means at the beginning, we only see week 1. Week 1 is the only week that has 2 parts. Every other week will just be 1 part. Week 1 starts with start here. Now, I can see over here that it is not at the top. What I see at the top is course content, weeks 1 through 8, which is this heading. So if I want to see week 1 start here, up here I need to click there, and here I have it. Now, every week we'll have an introduction here, which is very important to read, and below that we'll have a checklist. Our checklist is basically just a list of what we have as we scroll down. Now, the reason for the checklist is to make sure that we've completed everything. So we need to go through the checklist in order. That's really important. Each time you complete something in the checklist, you'll check it off, and that way you'll know that everything has been completed and that you don't miss anything. In this first week, we have this video that we're watching. We have the syllabus. You have something about me, something about the textbook, grading system and policies. This is an extremely important one to read. And then a video of how to record a video note in Brightspace, if you're not already familiar with that, and a Brightspace student orientation if you have not yet taken a course on Brightspace. If you have, you do not need to complete this. I'm going to go back by using my links up here. I'm going to go back to week 1, start here, and I'll scroll down and see my links. Now, every week is going to look this way. Again, it's going to start with a checklist, and then we'll have our links that are lecture material. We can't see that here because this is just the start here page. So I'm going to go to week 1, part 2. But first, if you continue to scroll down on start here, you will see an Ask the Instructor discussion thread, which is for grammar, questions on grammar that everyone can benefit from. And then below that, you'll see a bunch of student resources, which may be of use to you. So I've made week 2 visible so I can show it to you. So let's go ahead and click on week 2. And you'll see we have a video as part of our introduction. Please read everything in the introduction carefully before you go to the checklist. Now, one thing you'll see in the introduction is that week 2 builds on week 1. And this is true for every week. They build on the week before them, which means that you need to complete most material in each week in order to have access to the next week. Now, right here below checklist for week 2, I can see all of my links. I will not be able to see those links if I have not checked off everything in the week 1 checklists. So that doesn't just mean going through the checklist and looking at it. You actually have to check off each item, and that's to help you remember to do it. So when the items are actually checked off, you'll have access to the next checklist. So here I'm going to click on this so you can see what most of the checklists will look like. You'll have your lecture material. Now I've already checked these, but if they're not checked, you're going to actually have to physically check them off after you complete them in order to continue with the course. So we have our lecture material. Below the lecture material, we have a to-do section with the discussion post and interactive exercises. Most interactive exercises are just for practice, but the discussion post is obviously something that you need to submit for a grade. And then below that, we have other assignments that are submissions for grades. And that's what our checklists will look like. And we check them off as we complete them. Okay, now I'm going to go back to week 2 so we can look at the textbook. Now, below the checklist, we have our lecture material. And below the lecture material, we have our to-do section. For the moment, my to-do section is not visible because this list needs to be completed. So if you're going through the checklist and completing everything one by one, you will never run into not seeing the next section. If you don't see the next section, then you need to go back and see what it is that you need to complete. In the lecture material, we will always see links to the textbook. Now, in this week, in most weeks, we'll have links to the textbook and to flashcards. All of this is in the textbook. Once we're in the textbook, we don't need to click on all those links if we don't want to. We can actually go through the textbook with these links on the bottom of the page. To the left, it goes forward. To the right, it goes, to the left, it goes back. And to the right, it goes forward to the next page. Every section, I'm going to start with the first section, which I can also get to over here in contents. But I'm just going to click back here and go to the first part, première partie, which is les salutations, greetings. And every section will start with vocabulary. And we scroll down, we have different things. We may have videos. Here we have the alphabet. Sometimes there are links that give us sound, sometimes not. Here are a bunch of expressions. And here are flashcards. Every vocabulary section will have flashcards, which often do give little sound icons, which is great. You can turn them to see the English, but I recommend sticking with the French as much as you can, and then you can click through with the next button. After that, we have the grammar. And in the grammar section, I'll sometimes give you things to do that you'll need to do, that you'll need to look at for assignments. And after grammar, we have exercises. And sometimes I'll give you exercises from here for your interactives. And once in a while, you'll have exercises that are graded. Now I'm going to go back to week 2. And when I scroll down through the lecture material, you'll see that we have links to exact pages in the textbook. So you can go to those pages through your course as opposed to flipping through the textbook. And that's about it. That covers it. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I look forward to working with you. Au revoir.